a lot of change on the pitch, but also off the pitch in terms of Pep Lijnders coming in. Big coach, big influence on Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool's style of play. And I just thought, did I see little instances of that Liverpool team?
What, a little bit of rock and roll?
Yeah, a little bit more. So going off what Pep said last season, and also the influence of Pep Lijnders, who is obviously very hands-on as a coach, but really good from Wolves. But what I wanted to look at here, as this pass is coming across, as it's almost there, and we just stop it there now. So that ball's on its way. I was watching the game at the weekend, I couldn't believe what I saw. The players were all jumping high up now to try and catch the Wolves players offside. Now, normally, what's really different about this is, when I played under Rafa Benitez, when that ball got there, if that player took a touch back, the back four would push up. That was something that we were sort of coached and looked at on videos from AC Milan. But this is very Liverpool-like in terms of when your Kloppy thinks sometimes, is that line too high? But they actually jump before the ball actually gets to his feet to try and catch the Wolves players offside. So we run it on now. You see the players jump forward now, really high pushing up. And again, it just made me think how much influence is maybe the new coach having on this team. So that was one instance that I see in the game. This is another similar situation, but completely different in terms of this is from a goalkeeper's kick. So they've played out initially Wolves, they've now gone long with the goalkeeper's kick. And again, we just stop it now. The players are pushing up now. I think one of the midfielders, Nico Gonzalez, just dropped a little bit. He's trying to push up. Pushing up now. That's before the header is even being challenged. Again, trying to catch the Wolves player offside. Now, what I would say about that is, I think that's risky. If Aït-Nouri does a bad header and flicks that on, the Wolves player could be in. So that could be something to look at.
You just need
in
the
the
white
coming
shorts,
weeks.
Jamie, and then
Pardon?
You just need the white shorts that you're bringing into the screen.
I can assure you, Man City don't want me in there. But they did actually score a goal, Wolves, an offside goal. It doesn't count as a goal, obviously. But Manchester City catching. Look at John Stones painfully stepping up, just gaining that extra yard on the Wolves play here. It felt like in the game, it was almost like a little bit of an obsession, certainly in the first half, about catching them offside. And it just made me think,
is it dangerous?
Listen, it could be, but it worked really good. But it was something...
It's really good play. I mean, we've played centre-back, I've played in the defence. To get a set of back four and unit in sync like that, I think it takes some doing. That's really good play from John Stones.
But we always know Pep's teams like to push up. We get all that, but that was something a little bit different. It just makes me think the influence of Pep Lijnders in terms of the offside. And then we run it on now, it goes in, that's the goal. So they catch them offside, an offside goal. So you're right, Gary, a lot of work has gone into that. But when you think of Liverpool as well, I just keep back to Pep Lijnders, the amount of counter-attacking goals that Liverpool team would score with sort of Mane and Salah, breaking forward. And it just, when I looked at the goal from Reinders, it was an absolute revelation, in the game. He was fantastic. But one of the goals was what you'd sort of think of a counter-attack, not maybe a Pep Guardiola goal. Of course, Pep Guardiola teams have scored plenty of counter-attacking goals in the past. But what really stood out for this one was the type of goal it was. They win it and then they're off. And as I said, this fella was a revelation. We could have showed lots of different clips, all different goals in the game. But the reason this one stood out was, one, the counter-attacking element of it, and also when we saw the celebration. Pep Lijnders, Pep Guardiola, he's given him the thanks, the hug. Now, we don't know exactly what that's for, but I don't think it's a coincidence with some of the things that I saw in the game, that he as a coach is having a big influence on Pep Guardiola.